it's Sam. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the new Too Faced Born This Way concealers. So this is what the packaging looks like, and I did get sent every single shade so that I can swatch them for you guys. So the packaging is, of course, like always, so cute. Too Faced, I don't even know. They just are so genius with the packaging. So this is called the Born This Way Oil-Free Naturally Radiant Concealer. You get 0.23 fluid ounces. This retails for $28. There are 10 shades altogether. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what is like on the side here. So they're oil-free. They're infused with coconut water to delicately replenish skin's moisture levels. They have alpine rose to help brighten and boost skin's radiance, and they have hyaluronic acid for a smoother, more youthful appearance, which I completely agree with as far as the hyaluronic acid, because it really does kind of look plump underneath there after you apply it, as well as the alpine rose, because it really does have a nice kind of like radiance to the skin. So this is a very lightweight concealer. It does have good coverage, like it covers, but it's very lightweight feeling and it's very natural looking. And it has like a kind of like dewy, kind of like radiant finish. So I think it would actually be a really great concealer for people, especially summertime. If you are kind of just wanting that really kind of like J-Lo glow, and maybe you just want to wear a little bit of lightweight foundation and concealer to the beach, but you don't want to have to worry about setting or baking or anything like that, I feel like you'd really like this concealer, because the way that it finishes, like the way that when you put it on alone and you don't set it, it looks so beautiful on the skin. It really does give you a gorgeous like natural like radiance to the skin. It almost looks like you have like a highlighter on, but without a highlighter on, if that makes sense. It's not shimmery at all, but it does have a kind of like luminescent or glow, kind of like radiant finish to it. It's very lightweight. It does not crease. It does not look cakey underneath. It really is a beautiful concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what the actual like packaging looks like. So I am in the color light, and this is what it looks like. So you can see it's got the black top, it's got the gold kind of base around there, and then it's just a clear packaging, and then it says Born This Way in gold writing. On the back or on the bottom here, that's where it shows what color you have, and then on the top it has the like little Too Faced. There we go. So I really like the packaging, and it's also very light. Like when you hold it, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It's really, really easy to hold. I like that it's you know, the actual handle is nice to hold. It's not too big, it's not too bulky. It's just a really nice, like it's plastic, so it's not heavy. It really is a nice like packaging. And then this is what the wand looks like. So it's just a nice like doe foot applicator, and it really does make it so that it applies nicely. The wand is not super duper stiff or anything, so you can really, it's not as, okay, you know how the Urban Decay skin is like really long and kind of flexible? It's not as flexible as that, but it's not stiff. So it kind of, it's just a nice like medium. I would prefer it if it was a little thicker, or like soft, like more flexible, because I do like the Urban Decay wand, but this works just as, I mean, it's just as well. So this is, and it is flexible. I don't want to say it's not flexible, because it is flexible. It's just not quite as like fat and long as the Urban Decay Naked Skin one. So right there is the color light. So you guys can see that's the color that I use, and I think that is a perfect match for me. That one is the third lightest. Let me go ahead and show you the ones that are lighter than that. So we have Very Fair, which is very light. So if you are someone who struggles with trying to find a light concealer, this line would probably work for you, because they have a really great range of colors, in my opinion. So that right there is Very Fair. You can see it's really, really light. The next one we have is Fair. This is the second lightest. So I'm number 3 as far as like light goes. So Fair has more of a pinky undertone versus the light. So you can see right there that it's just a little bit more pink than the color that I wear. Still very light though. Next we have Light Medium. So Light Medium has more of a kind of like yellowish, where am I? Over here. A yellowish undertone, if you guys can see that right there. Next we have Medium, which again has a little bit more kind of like a yellow undertone to it. So that right there is Medium. Then we have medium tan, which is more of a beige. It's definitely not yellow, it's more neutral. So you can see right there, that's medium tan. And then we have tan, which looks like this. And tan is definitely warm. There is tan right there. Next we have deep tan, which is very kind of like camel color. So you can see right there. So that's deep tan. Then we have dark, which looks like this. And I will put it on right there for you. So you can see it's a nice rich color. And then deep has a lot of kind of like a reddish undertone to it. So you can see there it's a very kind of like warm, kind of orange. Both of these have a nice kind of like warm kind of orangey undertone to them. So those are all of the shades. I'll cover my face so it'll actually focus on my hand instead of my face. So you can see it has a great range of colors. I feel like no matter what skin color you are gonna find a concealer that will match for you, because they did a great job of finding some with pink undertones and some with yellow, and they really do have a nice kind of variety. So I think this is a really great concealer. I definitely recommend giving it a go if you are looking for something that has a radiant finish but isn't oily, because a lot of the time these concealers that say radiance are so bad for oily skin. They just are such a mess. They look terrible. They end up getting really like greasy underneath the eye. This has not happened. Also, I will say it does do a great job with the lines and pores. They don't accentuate them at all. The only thing I've noticed is that when I first set my powder, it looks a little bit powdery than my normal concealer. But then once the rest of my makeup is on, it looks fine. Like now that I look, it doesn't look dry at all. The only thing I might wonder about is because it is kind of that radiant, kind of like dewy finish, if it's mixing with the powder funny at first and it kind of needs a minute to just kind of settle in. It does have that very radiant finish, and I feel like it almost is one of those concealers that is meant to wear, I mean you can obviously set it, but I feel like it almost looks its most beautiful when it's not set, because it really does smooth underneath the eye. It makes it look really, really radiant and just kind of like very fresh. And you'll see that in the clip of me applying it. You could go without setting it and it would look really just, not necessarily in the winter, but for the summer, I feel like you can get away with that kind of glow under there and it looks really pretty. And it's not shimmery at all. It's just a really pretty kind of like natural, like skin, like just glow, like you're very healthy. Overall, I'm actually really impressed with this concealer. I think it's beautiful. I think it's great time for it to launch because it's a beautiful like summer concealer. It's lightweight, it's not cakey, it's not heavy, it doesn't feel thick or gross on the skin, it blends out really nicely. Overall, I'm just really, really impressed. It really is a beautiful concealer, and I love the fact that they have so many, like a really great shade range, and it is oil free, and it has hyaluronic acid in it. Can you get anything better in a concealer? Hello, plump me up, make me look young. That's fabulous. Okay, so I'm in the color light. Don't need a whole lot of this stuff. A little bit goes quite a long way. So like with my other one, I kind of have to fill up the whole area. Whereas with this one, you can kind of just do that and you're okay. Okay, so I just used a brush. This is the Morphe E20. And I like to use this because I just feel like the Beauty Blender, I know, like I use the Beauty Blender for so long and it's awesome, but sometimes I just feel like it takes too much of my product away and I want it to look nice and bright under there and like have good coverage. So I prefer doing it with a brush, especially this brush, because it really does like just work so well. So you can see how nicely that blends out. It really is very lightweight, but it has good coverage and it kind of gives you like almost a luminosity to the skin. Now for me, I just go ahead and set it, you know, once it's all blended out. But if you didn't want to set it and you kind of wanted to look kind of radiant under there, then you know, you could always just leave it. I don't know how it would last as far as not setting it, like as far as going into the creases and stuff, because I always set mine. So you can probably see now how it's like, it's just nice and bright, but it doesn't look heavy or thick or cakey. It really is very lightweight, and it does, like I said, give you that really nice glow. It is called the Naturally Radiant Concealer. So I agree that it is radiant because it really does have a beautiful kind of like luminosity to the skin without being like greasy. Like I didn't have a problem at all. I've worn it now for 2 days straight, and I never felt like throughout the day like, oh my gosh, it was looking like greasy or feeling thick or anything like that. Like it lasted really, really well throughout the day, and it didn't like clump up. Like the NARS for me can get a little bit like weird over here. There you go. There's exactly what it looks like just with nothing else. And you can see like I'm talking and only a tiny little bit, like I haven't said it yet, only a tiny little bit is settling into the line just right there. So there's my thoughts, guys. There's a look at the swatches again. I hope you guys found that helpful. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I'm just Sam Schuerman. Bye.